what's going on? You're listening to Unlocked Radio here on the Morning Show Central Radio Network on this Monday evening, December 2nd, 2013. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie. That's a Monday. Is that how it goes?
Actually, I love Mondays because the only thing I really have to do on Mondays is be here. Every other day of the week, I'm working like 30-hour shifts in 24. Don't ask me how I do it. I'm pretty sure I have one of those Harry Potter time turner things. Not positive. Can't remember. Amnesia. Long story. Anyways, like us on Facebook at facebook.com/unlockedradio. Follow us on Twitter at unlockedradio. One word. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/unlockedradio. Don't forget to check out our website to get all of our information that we plug here and watch our show at unlockedradio.com. Let's not forget about the other great shows here on Morning Show Central. Examples: High on Sports, everything in between, Project X. We got a lot of things going on here. So every Monday night, right after us, we got High on Sports, and then everything in between is right after them with our wonderful, wonderful friend and colleague Von Erich. Let's see.
Good stuff going on.
I know, right? So we got morningshowcentral.com/watch to watch us live and participate in chat. You don't need to make a username. Just type one in and hit enter. You don't need a password. Don't need an account. Type in a username. You're in the chat. Done. Set. Match. All right. If you're listening on the go or need to listen on the go, or just want to take a break from the computer and go to the bathroom, you can take us with you on your mobile device with the TuneIn Radio app. Just go to your app store, type in TuneIn Radio, find the app, download, type in Morning Show Central Radio Network. We'll pop up, and you can listen to us on the shitter. Don't forget to call into the station at 888-668-0742.
Yeah, you're listening. You're obviously High on Sports going to be on after us, like you said, and everything in between. Currently, like we said, listening to Unlocked Radio. I am half your listening and viewing pleasure. My name is, in case you've forgotten or in case you're new, is Rio, and the other half over here is waiting for me to shut up. His name is Chip, but you should already know that unless you're a fucking loser.
Everybody knows fucking Chip. All right, dude, the gas station dude knew me.
Yeah,
that's kind of weird.
So how's everybody doing tonight? Did you all enjoy your Thanksgiving weekend? Did you all get fat? Don't answer that. Actually, I don't really.
Hey! No one got fat. They burned all those calories off Black Friday shopping and mauling somebody for a 50% off scarf.
Oh, by the way, somebody sent me some stupid tweet going, when you don't care, we don't care. Just always remember that. Like, I guess it was about the show. Like, I don't even know what the fuck that means. What do you mean we don't care? What is the we in that statement? Huh? Like,
I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and say, fuck you, but thank you for tweeting.
Yeah, like you and all the voices in your fucking head, stop acting like you're running a union. Like, all right, if you don't like our fucking show, believe me, there is plenty of other selections here on the Morning Show Central Radio Network, actually. Oh! I just slipped in a fucking plug there.
Slip in the plug. Just slide it in. Nice and lubed up.
Chip shared with us how we can get unlocked, obviously.
All right. So
all that junk.
I'm going to throw a nice little shout out here to Lakewood Computers at 14035 Madison Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio, 44107, 4531. Toll free at 855-580-0768. If you're in need of computer repairs or just want to cut the cost of ink cartridges and printing supplies, count on Lakewood Computers in Lakewood, Ohio to provide it all. For the past 5 years, they've been providing you with a huge assortment of computer equipment and services at very competitive prices. They purchase and sell pre-owned desktops, laptops, and related equipment, and offer outstanding prices on aftermarket printing supplies, including toner and ink cartridges. In addition to our cost-effective computers and computing products, we also provide service and repairs for HP LaserJet printers, and a complete menu of personal as well as commercial computer repairs. With 29 plus years of professional experience, we are highly confident in our ability to enhance your overall computing experience. Check them out online at www.joeslakewoodcomputers.com.
You keep saying why as if it's like, it's not us, man. Change that copy.
Also, we have a nice little event. Check out our second wonderful annual Toys for Tots for here at MSC Radio Network. Doing a toy drive. Just bring an unwrapped toy to our studio and help brighten a child's day. December 2nd through the 16th, Mondays 5 to 8, Saturdays 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Sundays 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Stop in. The address is 1419 East 40th, Cleveland, Ohio, 44103. Last year we got in over 100 toys, and I expect to beat that this year.
Let's
so come
get up
on,
to
folks.
200. Let's do that. All right. Tonight on Unlocked Radio, game music bundle 6 offers tunes from Guacamelee, Braid, and more. The Legend of Lobo Destroyo is a game inspired by Banjo-Kazooie. I actually admit to being wrong about something here on the show tonight. Steam rises to Yeah, I know, it's crazy, right?
I'm a little in awe there, guys.
Steam rises to 7 million concurrent users over the holiday weekend. PSA Blood Dragon puts the Cyber into Xbox's Cyber Monday sale, and we remember our favorite Wii experiences as promised last week. So let's
this is where I'm supposed to read Lakewood Computers, but anyways.
No, get it out of the way. You know,
I like to jump into things
stuff.
and
don't forget
going.
about that Toys for Tots, okay? Not tater tots like toddlers tots.
Bring us toys at 1419 East Cleveland, Ohio 44103. Mondays 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., Saturdays 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Sundays 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Again, bring an unwrapped toy to our studio and help brighten a child's day.
If you bring in a G.I. Joe with only one leg, I'm going to punch you. I'm just saying, give these kids some good toys. Doesn't matter. You can drop by a dollar store, grab some toys, drop them off. Do whatever you really got to do. Moving right into some stuff.
Moving into stuff.
For 2 years, the Game Music Bundle series has served as a convenient alternative to leaving games running in the background to listen to music. Its sixth entry aims to do the very same with over 20 soundtracks, including Fez Composer, Disaster Pieces, soundtrack for FAMAS. The bundle also includes the first official digital release for Braid, along with the soundtracks for Guacamelee, Kentucky Route Zero, The Stanley Parable, Mighty Switch Force, and more. Have you heard of any of those?
Yes.
Oh, well, that makes one of us. Well, I've heard of Guacamelee, but that's about it.
I think there's like 2 or 3 of them that I recognize, like the name from conversation or something. But other than that, just yeah.
$1 will earn the soundtracks to Dust and Elysian Tale, Braid, Rogue Legacy, Electronic Super Joy, and FAMAS. But contributing $10 will grant you all 24 albums involved in the bundle. Of course, if you'd rather give the composers more than a few cents, you can pay any amount above $10 that you feel is fair. So, you know, they've this method of donating money, paying what you see fit, giving some incentive. The more money you give, the more you get. That can work out pretty well. But paying for gaming soundtracks that you can probably just find copies of on YouTube, is it really like?
I don't know. There's really not a whole lot of gaming soundtracks that I really want that I didn't already like buy the CDs for. Example, Tony Hawk's Underground. I found all the songs I liked, and I went out and bought the albums.
So like at this point, it's really like if you are into those games, like obviously a little more underground games for the most part, you can pay money. You can pay money if you want to support the composers themselves. But that's really all it is. You're not doing it really to get access to music soundtracks you haven't heard. Yeah,
I mean, I'm not buying video games just for the soundtracks, so it's kind of background noise.
Right.
Whether or not the composers actually did a wonderful job, I'm probably not paying attention to it. No offense, guys. I'm sure you do a wonderful job. I'm just not really paying too much attention because I'm a little bit more, entranced by the storyline. So, I'm sorry.
I don't know. It's just kind of weird that they go about that route, like actually putting out albums for the gaming stuff. I don't know. I just figure you can find that anywhere. But let's move on.
Maybe Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I might buy their.
That's amazing. But again, we can find that anywhere.
Yeah, I think I have it as a ringtone actually.
Yeah, you can download the entire pack of songs as like ringtones for Droid.
All right. Well, anyways, it's time to move into our wonderful, wonderful Lobo.
Wonderful world of Kickstarter.
Yeah. So the Legend of Lobo Destroyer versus La Liga de los Villanos may take place in a world full of anthropomorphic animal like bandit chihuahuas, pirates, parrots, and wolf luchadores.
Woo!
Yeah. But it's the real world, circa 1998. Developer Left Handed Games wants to take you to, or at least, if not literally the place and time, they want to take you to the feeling you had that year when Banjo-Kazooie was released for N64. What a wonderful, wonderful year. What a wonderful, wonderful game.
Indeed.
Anyways, so Lobo Destroyer is a 3D platformer inspired by such games and is currently seeking funding on Kickstarter. Players will take on the role of a mutt, a runt of the wolf pack that follows Lobo Destroyer, protector and guardian of Costa Lucha. When Mutt awakens and finds Lobo and the rest of his pack missing, and La Liga de los Villanos escaped, he takes up the pack's magical belt and begins a quest to avenge his brothers and drop kick the 10 villains of the Los Villanos into submission. The campaign of Lobo Destroyer is has a little bit more than a week left, and right now is sitting at about $12,000. The team's initial goal was $35,000, which will allow the game's release on PC, Mac, Linux, Ouya, and Wii U. Left-Handed Games is participating in Ouya's Free the Games Fund, which means that Ouya matches the donation amount of money in exchange for a period of exclusivity on the system. At $39,000, the game will be ported to the PS4, and at $42,000, the game will come onto the nest of the Xbox One.
So, a really good system. Obviously, they've made some sort of deals where as long as they can get a certain amount of donations and stuff, a certain amount of fan base going, then those systems will accommodate them and release their games.
I'm pretty excited about it.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I definitely kind of want to see it on the some of the major name consoles. Obviously, Wii U, PS4, and Xbox One. So I mean, I might just go home and throw some money down, just 'cause, like, all right, I want to see this game come out. I want to see more of the feel to it. I mean, everyone here loves Banjo-Kazooie. Everybody.
Yeah.
And if you didn't, fuck you.
3D adventures, all sorts of collectibles, spending hundreds of hours running around, like hundreds of hours of replayable gameplay to go around and make sure you've collected everything. Unless collecting isn't really your forte,
Then you have your wandering and your battle, and this one has more blood than Banjo-Kazooie. Obviously aimed towards an older audience because, well, anyone that played Banjo-Kazooie is now in their 20s.
Right.
So, come on, guys. Throw some money down at the Kickstarter page, and let's see things go. Left-Handed Games has thrown out some great titles, and let me tell you, they've been doing a phenomenal job producing them. The games are streamlined. They're beautiful. Check them out. And throw some money at these guys,
and
so
imagine
they can actually
having
get a project going.
Imagine having it not just as a PC download too. Imagine actually having it ported to your consoles, using that money, and the company like Sony and Microsoft using their money to help make it even more polished, so that it runs smoother. Maybe even more collectibles, more achievements for all you gamer score hunters, things like that. Trophies if you're on Sony. But there's a lot of stuff that could be really fun with it. A lot of leaderboards and a lot of competition, online chats, forums. Who knows what else they'll do? They can even make an action figure line, and that can be donated to Toys for Tots. Huh.
There we go. So now we got some options here. Come on, guys, get out there, do some charity work, I guess, if you will. And as if I'm not mistaken, the way Kickstarter typically works is by donating certain amounts, you get certain perks.
Right, which means that you guys will probably get the game for free on whatever system you choose as long as you get there.
You throw down, so much money or whatever, you'll get it for free at some point on something, depending on if they hit their goal or not. If not, I think the money gets refunded to you anyways. So no loss, no skin off your ass. Throw some money down, and you're probably going to end up with the game.
That is exactly right.
No harm done, no harm, no foul. It's a win-win situation, or it's a lose-win situation. Either way, you still get shit.
You do.
And you feel better about yourself.
Speaking of feeling better about yourself and the exact opposite, this is the part where I actually admit where I was wrong about something. I remember I was reminiscing about stuff, doing research for the show today. I remember reading about the Rumble Pack and Nintendo Power, and eventually seeing it in the ad campaign for Star Fox 64. All right, let me take you back. Let me read you a story here. All right, a device that made my controller shake around when I was hit, sounds really dumb, I thought. It's pretty much just a weight for a controller that runs off AA batteries. Like, as if scavenging for batteries around the house back then for my Game Boy wasn't hard enough.
Now you got to do it for your console that plugs into a wall.
Yeah, so as much as I love Nintendo, the idea just didn't strike me as something I'd want to try. Now, when my brothers and I unwrapped a Nintendo 64 bundle with Star Fox 64 and a Rumble Pack later that year for Christmas, I was still indifferent toward the pack. I just wanted to play the game. So after watching my brother hook it up to the basement TV and waiting my turn, I went and I promptly flew into a skyscraper in an effort to dodge an enemy's attack. And the controller roared to life, and my hands, I'm just going. I just went drunk driver into a building and jumped because it just rumbled, and that was new back then. Just totally taken off guard by the real life implications of my virtually botched flight plan.
It threw in kind of a more real effect to the game. It made you feel a little bit more involved because now you're actually getting that sense. However, it was still disturbing to me because even when I first got it was like, all right, I'm playing Pokemon Stadium. I got hit with Fire Blast. Why is this thing shaking so bad? And there were occasionally a couple times where you take it out, you throw it against a wall or something. Stop messing up my game. It's distracting. It really was. Well, now everyone's used to it because it's built into every controller.
Yeah, nowadays using a controller with its rumble feature turned off just feels weird to me. Like the experience is dead in my hands. Like,
yeah, it feels like you're playing a game, not being involved in a story.
Right.
So, I mean,
now,
it's kind of nice.
Yeah, if you get like dollar store batteries, there are certain times where the controller will the rumble will short it out and your controller will turn it off. And I've had to turn off the rumble feature because of that, and I was like legitimately upset about it. Now, child me figured the Rumble Pack would at best be an addition to a game or two, just a few games like the NES Zapper or the Power Pad were.
Yeah.
And now that it's a standard feature and it's even crept into the Xbox One's triggers, it's crept into our phones. Like, I'm glad to admit that I was totally wrong about the concept.
Yeah.
So like
it's something Nintendo started, kind of like, hey, let's throw this idea out there and see how it goes.
Innovation.
And people didn't exactly respond the greatest to it. Example,
right?
Co-host.
Exactly. But within a year, it was all over the place.
And now within Jesus, it's been over 10 years.
You could at least say about 10 years later,
it
was everywhere.
And like literally now, find something that doesn't rumble.
Right.
Please find an electronic that doesn't vibrate.
Right. Find a phone.
I think the DS even has that feature. I mean, come on, guys.
You can find bar phones. Like, bar phones even vibrate. Everything does.
Yeah.
The bottom line is that we're all fairly educated about this industry since we love it so much, but I'm pretty sure none of us can see the future. Like, so like what gaming trends have you like had made total miscalls on? Like, is there any concept or gameplay mechanic where you just like rolled your eyes at initially, then realized that it spread elsewhere just like a year or two later?
This has happened a lot to me. Example, I thought Pokemon wasn't going to take off because, Digimon was actually released first. And I thought, Digimon's a huge success. Pokemon's still new.
And now I can't go anywhere without seeing like grown-ass men playing it on
It's like I don't feel like Pokemon's going to go anywhere. I mean, it's kind of like a ripoff of Digimon, but not quite. It's not as in-depth. It's not as educated. It's not as interesting. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I was wrong. Pokemon is currently in my car. I was at the bookstore and I saw keychains of Pokemon. They have Pokemon books, how to draw Pokemon, Pokemon manga, everything. It's still a huge, huge thing. And
they have thousands of Pokemon now.
Oh god,
everywhere. They keep releasing new versions, keep releasing new additions to the game,
updates,
adding the strategy element to it.
So many people I know, it's like, hey, Pokemon Red and Blue, all right. Then Yellow came out. Okay, I gotta get Yellow because Yellow has everything, right? But it doesn't. So now you go back and get Blue. And then they released Gold and Silver, and then Ruby and Sapphire, and Diamond and Pearl and Platinum, and there's so many of them. And then they started doing the re-releases like Fire Red, Leaf Green, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. And people are rebuying the game that they already bought. It's like, all right, so this game is not just... It didn't just prove me wrong that it wouldn't fail. It is a huge success.
Not to mention when Fire Red and Leaf Green were coming, you could still play on the Game Boys that those were used for. It was like the Game Boy SP and the Game Boy Color and all that. And the Game Boy Advance. You could still play the older ones on it. So It wasn't like you needed to buy it in order to play it on the new handheld you got. You just bought it because now it's in color and they added these few things.
Yeah.
They fixed these glitches.
They changed the graphics. They changed a couple small features here and there. I think they finally got rid of Missing Note, which was interesting. One of my friends actually... because I don't know if you guys have actually have noticed, December is Pokemon Profile Picture Month. So for the entire month of December, you just throw up a picture of a random Pokemon or your favorite or just a douchebag one like I did. Yeah. I picked Klefki. It's a key ring. Yep. But it's a dragon killer. It is a fairy type Pokemon, and it's ridiculously powerful, and fairy types destroy dragons. So I'm just throwing that out there, guys. It is the biggest douchebag Pokemon I could think of, so I threw it up there.
Someone in the chat actually mentioned they thought that what we're talking about, they thought that about Kinect.
I thought Kinect wouldn't work because it's like, motion sensor, it's probably crap, it's probably It's like, all right, what do I do? I gotta flail my arm really, really hard or something?
Right,
like,
the person in the chat actually mentioned, you don't want to move. That's the exact opposite of what you want to do to play a game. So it's like, I kind of want to sit there and use a controller. Now, when we played the Wii, it's like, hey, this is kind of fun playing tennis and bowling and stuff. And then after a few hours, you're like,
I'm bored.
You learned how to cheat it and just do a little flick of the wrist, so you could just sit down. And you're like, now this is kind of gimmicky and annoying. I'd rather use a controller. What I know, but certain things have taken off.
Well, you can still use just the controller to play a lot of those games.
Right.
People just don't realize it. But one of the most, I think, the one year, the most anticipated gaming moment of the year was when the Wii was released, and you could finally swing Link's sword.
Right.
That was the most anticipated gaming moment of that year, and possibly of the decade, because that was something completely new and completely revolutionary, which, again, Nintendo's apparently known for, with the Rumble Pack, the motion sensing features, et cetera, et cetera.
The light gun, the freaking power pad back in the day.
So many
track and field.
Yeah. So many things that Nintendo's has done that everyone thought was going to fail, and it worked. You go into like Kinect, it's just a modified version, and you know what? Some people are like it's so much easier to use Kinect than to roll out a DDR mat and plug it in. Right. So much easier. Not to mention now it can test all your movements, so it's not just feet work.
Yeah. And
silly
like I said,
people.
and again, when it started, yes, really gimmicky. They only had a few things that they could do with it, but now it's evolved, and now you have it with the Xbox One, and you could just use it to voice command your entire damn living room. You can change channels with it. You can turn
Xbox
the volume up and down. You can find shows. You can download things. You can purchase games. You can do pretty much everything with it now, and it recognizes your face. It'll say hi to your friends when they sit down on the couch next to you. Like, yes, it could get kind of creepy a little bit, but where's it going to go from here? It obviously has the ability to keep evolving a little bit to make you be more involved in your game. Now, granted, there's no rumble feature for your body while you're playing the Kinect, so that part kind of sucks a little bit. But
yeah, but if you hit a table, your hand's going to tingle a little bit.
Yeah, so like it's at least a step in the right direction. It's obviously not going anywhere.
Exactly.
It became packaged with the Xbox One. Now they're selling 360 bundles with it. So there is obviously, it's only going to go up from here. It wasn't just something that was around for a year, failed miserably, and went away.
Yep, it actually turned out to work.
We all thought that it was gonna.
my first experience, like actual personal experience with Kinect, was I was over at my friend's house, mixing up some butter beers, drinking and stuff, having some mead, playing with a remote control Dalek, and it's like, all right, let's watch a movie. So it's like, hey, Kinect, turn on this, it was Xbox Play, etc.
Right.
And it started playing, and I was like, oh. And my friend's like, hold on, gets better. Xbox Home. I'm like, Xbox, go home, you're drunk. And it's like, home page loading. I'm like, it was so amazing to me. I kind of freaked out a little bit. Meanwhile, I don't think my girlfriend was even paying attention because she was playing with the remote control Dalek. But still,
right.
Running around, shooting everyone, exterminate.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, a lot of this stuff is we're going to bring up Nintendo on a lot of these things as far as innovation goes. A lot of things that we're like, dude, wow, that's a big jump, and you kind of just look at it immediately and go, no, I want the same thing that I've been doing, and then they usually end up being successful. There's also plenty of things where we thought they were going to be good, and they ended up not being good.
Well,
but
one thing that I actually thought was going to be a success that failed miserably was the Dreamcast, the way their memory sticks worked.
Yeah, the VMUs, the memory cards we thought were going to be around forever. No one.
It was like a Gigapet that was, those were popular, and it was a memory card for your game, but you could move your characters from the game to the Everyone thought, I thought it was going to be a phenomenal success. I thought it was going to be wonderful, and it failed. And the Dreamcast itself failed miserably, and people just didn't buy it or didn't play it. I don't know if it was, the economy sucked, or if people just weren't that into gaming, or it was a bad time release, or what was going on. Because the Dreamcast, in theory, should have been one of the most revolutionary and one of the most phenomenal systems of all time.
Yeah, at the time it was. Everyone still raves about how much they missed, out of their favorite memories, like N64 and Dreamcast are pretty much up there.
Yeah, but Dreamcast just didn't exist, really. It was popular for a couple months, and then no one had one or no one cared. No one even knew what it was a year later. So it's like, all right.
It's too easy to crack. That's a problem.
Yeah, maybe. I don't really know what the problem is. It was just so many options, so many problems. And Dreamcast, I thought, would be a huge success. And then they came out with those little Poké Walker things, which is basically a memory card for your Pokemon game that you can walk around with, and every so many steps you encounter an item or a wild Pokemon.
Right.
And you can train and level your Pokemon that way. And I thought that was stupid, because if the Dreamcast thing didn't work, why would that? And you know what? That worked.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, using bootleg games on Dreamcast, yes, that is what I'm talking about. It was really easy. You didn't need to mod it or anything, mod chip, nothing. You could just burn games, download them off the internet, and then just go with it. So with all the different games they had, they just crushed under their own weight with that. But more on the whole innovations front later. Let's move on and get the other couple stories out here before the break, so that we can talk all about innovation, about Nintendo and everything afterward.
Well, we got very, very little time. But still, there's nothing just like a Steam sale to remind you how not dead or unwell the PC gaming industry is. Just as it did this time last year, Steam Holiday Sale helped with Windows, Mac, and Linux clients to reach a new milestone of more than 7 million users logged in at one point in time. Last year's milestone was 6 mil, and my often unerring grasp of rudimentary math tells me that the rise of 1 million across a year, bear in mind that's concurrent users, the total number of registered Steam accounts surpassed 65 million by the end of October. Speaking of Steam sales, there's still time to pick up this weekend's new deals with discounts from upon high for the likes of Torchlight 2, Fez, The Wolf Among Us, Metro Last Night, The Witcher 2, Amnesia, A Machine for Pigs, Shadowrun Returns, and plenty more. Steam sales are freaking huge.
They really are.
Honestly, I refuse to log into Steam when they're having a sale just because I don't want to spend all of my savings account and then be mad because I didn't get everything I wanted. So if you want games, check out Steam sales. If you want to, have no life, check out Steam sales. If you have $10 in your pocket that you don't need, check out Steam sales.
Yeah. If you have too much money and you don't really like money, check out Steam sales. Anything you do.
And even if you like money but you like gaming and entertainment more, check out the Steam sales. Especially Cyber Monday, a day known for internet shopping. Go to Steam, buy games, make them feel better.
Yeah, it's obviously 1 million users over the course of a year. You think okay, it's just a million people. No, 1 million people at once. That's how much at once it has improved or it has grown. So that's a fucking lot. Speaking of the Cyber Monday sales, I'm just going to real quick before we get to a break. There are no surprises in the Xbox Cyber Monday sale since Cyber Monday is obviously almost over. But with today's deals lining up as announced last week, that said, there are at least a couple of offers worth highlighting, including one of the most appropriate games this Cyber Monday, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. The standalone follow-up to Far Cry 3 is at 75% off, meaning you can gorge on all its 80 cyber cheddar for $3.74. That's the standout deal to me, but obviously there's an excellent Dark Souls. That's at just $5. That's not far off. Other nods go to Red Dead Redemption, The Witcher 2, and L.A. Noire, each of those going for $7.49, and a co-op beat-em-up Battle Block Theater, which is down to $4.94.
All of which are worth it except for L.A. Noire.
I think L.A. Noire is still pretty good, but
I hate
to each their own. For the full list of one-day-only cyber discounts, head on over to Xbox.com. But when we come back from the break, we're going to be talking about Nintendo Wii, talking about the 360, the PlayStation 3, like we did before. We reminisced about everything. We're going to reminisce about Nintendo, about the Wii, talk about the new stuff that's coming out, everything to look forward to, and maybe a little bit of what we're hoping to see in the future from the next generation of gaming.
Also, our memorial service for our previous generation systems.
You're listening to Unlocked Radio. We'll be back in 10.
You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network. With hundreds of live weather products and layers and thousands of combinations, Weather Studio provides a professional graphics and storm monitoring solution without complex user knowledge and without the industry standard price tag of $1,000 plus broadcast systems. Weather Studio displays a plethora of critical atmospheric and geophysical data on an interactive GIS-enabled computer map. Get your free 14-day trial of Weather Studio at their website, weatherstudio.paulmarv.com. That's weatherstudio.paulmarv.com. Yo, it's Woody. Now, I know a thing or two about women, and I want to help all the ladies out there take care of their men. Happy Endings Orgasmically Organic Massage Oil. Yeah, I said orgasmically organic, made right here in Cleveland. Now, no other product delivers this level of purity and performance. It's guaranteed to improve your overall experience and keeps that sensitive skin soft and smooth. Guys, don't be a tool. You're doing it anyway. Might as well do it right. Get your happy ending at happyendingsoil.com. That's happyendingsoil.com. If you're looking for the best in musical equipment, recording gear, sound reinforcement, and more, Guitar Center has you covered. Guitar Center, located at 26635 Brook Park Road in North Olmsted, has the tools of your trade with the largest selection of music and sound gear in the area. They cater to your musical needs and have the knowledge to help you out. Guitar Center in North Olmsted. morningshowcentral.com uses them. You should too. Need to know more? Go to guitarcenter.com.
This is President Barack Obama, and you're listening to MSC Radio Network.
I know, oh my God, I know what we're gonna do. Oh, it's so delicious, I can almost taste it.
If you're looking for the best sub shop in town, look no further. Hanini Subs, located at 7310 Lorraine Avenue, is the place for you. Stop in for a cold cut sub, cheeseburger and fries, wingdings and fries, and so much more. I can almost taste it. Hanini Subs at 7310 Lorraine Avenue is open 24 hours a day. Check them out on Facebook, facebook.com/burrito crazy. And if you mention MSC Radio Network, you'll get $1 off your meal. It's all good at Hanini Subs.
So damn good.
Looking for reliable and affordable Shoutcast audio or video hosting? JWN Media offers complete Shoutcast hosting solutions for business or personal use. All plans come with full listener stats, custom web scripts for implementing your service into your existing website, full server control, super fast network, and huge bandwidth limits, a 99.5% uptime guarantee, and friendly, knowledgeable support personnel dedicated to making your hosting experience fun and easy. With plans starting at only $3 a month, you have no excuse not to get a server of your own. Plus, with the option to add auto DJ and on-demand services, you can be confident your station will be all it can be. Custom plans are also available at their website. Simply visit jwnmedia.com and click the Shoutcast hosting link to get started right now. Lakewood Computer, located at 14035 Madison Avenue in Lakewood, has it all. If you're in need of computer repairs or want to cut the cost of ink cartridges and printing supplies, count on Lakewood Computer in Lakewood, Ohio to provide it all. For the past 5 years, Lakewood Computer has been providing you with a huge assortment of computer equipment and services at very competitive prices. Lakewood Computer purchases and sells pre-owned desktops, laptops, and related equipment, and they offer outstanding prices on aftermarket printing supplies, including toner cartridges and ink cartridges. With 29 years of professional experience, Lakewood Computer is highly confident in their ability to enhance your overall computing experience. Check them out online at joeslakewoodcomputer.com. That's joeslakewoodcomputer.com. Or give them a call toll-free, 855-580-0768. That's 855-580-0768.
I knew something was wrong when a little pretty white girl ran into a black man's arms.
You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network. If you have a product or service, let people know about it. Get your message out there and advertise on MSC Radio Network. It's easier than you think, and the whole planet is listening. Find out how you can advertise. Email Chris at morningshowcentral.com. Oh, great. Not another Farmville request. Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/morningshowcentral. Denying one Farmville request at a time. MSC Radio Network is teaming up with Toys for Tots and making the holidays brighter. Bring an unwrapped toy to the MSC studios located at 1419 East 40th in Cleveland. Donation days and hours are at mscradionetwork.com. MSC Radio Network has just tweeted the following. This bowel movement won't come out. Check us out on Twitter at twitter.com/MSC Radio Network. User-friendly and ready to serve. morningshowcentral.com. P99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Jumping from one web host to another can be frustrating. Finding a good web host can be unnerving for even the most experienced of web designers. That's why Uncensored Net Noise has chosen P99 Technologies as its web hosting supplier. Established in 1999, P99 Technologies has evolved into a first-class web hosting provider. Its 99.9% uptime rivals many in the industry. That's why they offer their 30-day guarantee, no questions asked. For more information, go to P99.com. P99 Technologies will help you get started with your web presence with honest and expert customer service. P99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right.
Oh, wow. Language.
Okay, he was PMSing.
You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network. Call the show toll-free. 1-888-668-0742. You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network on morningshowcentral.com.
Welcome back to Unlocked Radio here on Morning Show Central Radio Network. Before the break, we talked about Gaming Music Bundle 6, Guacamelee, Braid, Legend of Lobo Destroyo, Banjo-Kazooie and stuff. We talked about Steam. We talked about PSA Blood Dragon, Xbox Cyber Monday, the Wii. We talked about Toys for Tots. Don't forget about that stuff. Donate for the little toy drive thing. Remember, we had 100 toys last year, and we want to get more this year. Real easy to do. All that old 64 stuff we were talking about. If you guys don't use it anymore, that's a perfect gift.
Yep, just bring an unwrapped toy to our studio and help brighten a child's day. December 2nd through the 16th. Mondays, drop off the toys from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Sundays, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Remember, the address is 1419 East 40th, Cleveland, Ohio, 44135. Do it. Also, let's throw a shout out to Hanini Subs, located at 7310 Lorraine Avenue for the best subs in town. While you're there, tell them MSC Radio Network sent you and get $1 off your meal.
Woo, you do that stuff. In case you're hungry. All right. What do we got for the second half of the show?
All right. Well, we got one more article to cover, which is 1 year ago, Nintendo started off a new generation with the release of the Wii U. Now that Sony and Microsoft have joined in with their new hardware, it's time for us to start planning retirement parties for the previous generation of consoles. We've already looked back at the 360 and the PlayStation 3, so now it's time for us to recount on some of our favorite experiences that we had on the Nintendo Wii.
Yeah. Now, the Wii, we had some complaints, plenty of them. How gimmicky certain things were when they tried to like remake the little duck hunt, and how the Wii remote just wasn't quite accurate enough.
Yes, but they made a peripheral, although as some people pronounce it, peripheral. Yes, they made peripherals for everything. If you wanted, I think they had a bowling ball and you could just slide your controller in and like. I have no idea. I know they had a tennis racket.
That into your TV.
Yeah, I know they had a tennis racket. I know they had a baseball bat, a golf club. They had the gun for duck hunt. A lot of stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. They did a wonderful, wonderful job making peripherals. However, I don't want to be buying that many peripherals for a game. Hence, Kinect.
Yeah,
I mean, PS Move? No. Xbox Kinect.
Yeah, PS Move failed real hard. Again, that's another one of those things where, like, at first you're like, oh, it's way more accurate, so let's use this. Nope, not good enough.
Nope.
But
and Xbox Kinect has stepped their game up even further, but it had to come from somewhere because Xbox did not come up with the idea themselves. That motion sensing capability came from the Wii.
Yeah. So Nintendo has a pretty interesting. It's a pretty interesting topic for us because what we've been doing the last couple of weeks, we went with Sony and we went with Microsoft on the last generation of gaming and what we missed about it. It's not technically just the Wii U for Nintendo or the Wii for Nintendo. They released the Wii U a year ago, but when they had the Wii, that you also had the DS, you had the 3DS, you have all these their handhelds, because obviously Nintendo's really well known for handhelds and what they did with that. Now you had the peripherals, but you also had the fact that they used that the Wii nunchuck and everything, and they made everything using motion sensors, and you have like one of my favorite memories is saying, forget this stupid infrared bar, let's use candles instead. It makes it significantly more accurate. They had a lot of good different ideas with it. You had the new Mario Karts, which was quite a bit of fun.
Phenomenal to play Mario Kart with a motion sensing controller. Dear God.
That was another peripheral, though. They had the steering wheel. Put it in there. But that actually worked out really well because there was everyone has probably seen the little meme that they had that was making its rounds on the internet of the parents who made little go-karts, little Mario and Luigi go-karts for their kids to just sit in a little chair, and then the section right there for them to hold the steering wheel. And that's a whole different experience for the kid, that they wouldn't just, a little controller wouldn't be the same, whereas now they get to pretend that they're in a car. Like you have your 5-year-old kids, they're just racing, they're just doing it for fun. They're turning that wheel. They don't know how inaccurate it is for us as more elite gamers who have been around doing it for a lot of years.
Nintendo has almost always targeted a younger audience because they want to entertain and educate children.
They want it family oriented.
Gaming has, my parents, not exactly the greatest gamers in the world. However, they still try, and unfortunately, the only way that there's any competition is through the inaccuracies of Nintendo products. It allows for my parents to actually keep up with me for the most part. Not exactly fair regardless, because I've been gaming my entire life, and I actually, do a show on gaming.
Right. But it's like, for the fun aspect, there are a lot of things in there that are a lot of fun. You don't want to try to play Call of Duty World at War on the Wii. You don't want to do that.
You can, though.
Yeah, you can try. You're going to fail. You're going to get upset. But if you play like the Mario type games that they had, and they had where you're actually playing through Mario Brothers, but doing it in a new 3D remake of it and having multiple characters to use at once, that can be kind of interesting, and the mayhem that ensues when someone won't move forward with you and therefore you try to make a jump and fall right down into a fucking pit.
It definitely creates family unity. It brings togetherness. So many, like Nintendo has always, helped with, family orientation. They even have, theme parks that they've built just for family orientation. It's a family park. It's not meant to be scary or, over exhilarating, but it is meant to be fun with your family. Yeah. So kids of all ages can enjoy it.
Not to mention, Nintendo still did the thing where they give you a game to start with. So, I mean, yes, it was just the Wii Sports bundle and whatever else they had, but how often did we keep resorting back to, regardless of what games you had for the Wii, regardless of how long the Wii was out, how long you had it in your living room, still result back to playing some tennis and playing some bowling, especially Wii bowling. A lot of families did that. You friends and stuff come over, you can easily do, especially you can make a drinking game out of it. Who knows what you can do? Adults, kids, parents, all can sit there and play that system.
You can get drunk while bowling. You can actually set up bowling leagues. I don't know if you people have thought about that. You can set up bowling leagues, and now that you're not going to a bowling alley, you can get as drunk as you want and pass out on the couch without ever having to drive home. So, plus it saves quite a bit of money.
It does.
But yeah, there's so many things you can do with the Wii, and I loved it. I really did.
Yeah, like I said, regardless of the inaccuracies of it, and it doesn't work as a hardcore gamer, you have to take yourself out of that mindset.
Well, the reason
it's trying to bring you back into having fun with games instead of just doing it competitively.
One of the main reasons why it was actually tolerable for elite gamers was, of course, Smash Brothers, which was again aimed to be a family thing. However,
Smash Brothers, bro,
it became a competitive gaming thing. Smash Brothers, and Nintendo planned to allow elite gamers to still enjoy the system by having a backwards compatibility on controllers. You could plug in your old controller, not just play your old games, but now you can put in your old controllers and play using
And
the
what
GameCube.
other system did that? Oh, that would be Zero.
Yeah, no other system has ever done that as far as either
Even
of us
Sony,
know.
who has pretty much had the same layout of controllers the entire time, they still don't let you do that because they added the DualShock, and then they added the motion sensor, and then now they have the infrared
screen.
and all that stuff in the screen, and being able to do different colors and things. But
Which, by the way, that screen built into the controller, where did that first start off at?
I believe Steam did that first.
Well, so...
Oh, wait, no, the Dreamcast started that first, technically, with the memory card, the VMU, because it had a little hole in there so you could use it while it was plugged in.
And the first one of the new gens to do it was obviously the Wii U, where the controller is a screen.
Right. The controller is a handheld. It's a handheld and it's a controller. And
apparently I hear it's a tablet as well.
Yeah, it's got pretty much everything. It's like, hey, this looks like just like a white Sega Game Gear. But you can browse things, you can download it, you can use a touchscreen, tap on things to view demos, to view demo videos, play demo games, swipe it up, and you can have access to your Wii and play it that way. So you can use that to play everything. You can they have the new Smash that they're trying to do, where now you can do it with the Wii U, you can do it with the Wii. Again, a lot of innovation, a lot of different things you can do that gives you a lot of options. Smash Brothers obviously going to be one of our better memories of the Wii because
obviously Smash Brothers, and of course
all your favorite Nintendo characters beating the crap out of each other.
Not to mention, I've always been a fan of the Zelda games. I'm actually disappointed with myself for having not bought Link Between Worlds yet. Really disappointed myself for that. However, I still remember, buying Twilight Princess just to play it. I love the Zelda games, and playing it on a system where you have motion sensing, which, by the way, I don't know how many people actually know, Link is left-handed.
Yep, which works perfect for us left-handers.
Yeah. Oddly enough, both of your hosts here are left-handed, which really sucks.
Aren't both of our girlfriends left-handed too? Or is
no,
yours not? Okay, my girlfriend is left-handed.
Yeah, so 3 out of 4 of us are left-handed, which makes, the fact that I can swing my sword left-handed and then block with my right hand so much easier, so much nicer, because now I actually feel involved in the game. Although I think there was actually a point in the game where he was right-handed.
I think it depended. I think Skyward Sword let
Skyward
that
Sword,
change up.
Skyward Sword is where they made him right-handed.
Yeah,
because they realized that there was follies with the majority of the people playing the system.
Right, and it's supposed to be the prequel to everything, and they tied all the stories together, which is kind of cool actually. And not only that, but where some people got upset about the gimmicky bullshit of the motion sensing and using the nunchucks with Zelda, improved on that with Skyward Sword and made everything make sense, made everything polished, that the sword battles ended up becoming a lot more fun, which at first you wouldn't think that they were because you just wanted to be able to do precision if you're in a sword fight. But using the strategy of vertical and horizontal swipes, diagonal swipes, became a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, they kind of had an issue with that during Twilight Princess. Obviously, their first attempt at doing something like that. It did have some, follies, because obviously it wasn't as in depth. Like, it didn't measure, it measured your timing, but it didn't see like if you were, upward slash, downward slash, horizontal slash, diagonal slash. It wasn't paying attention to that.
Yeah.
And it also definitely never paid attention to if you spun to dodge. You actually had to do that with the controller still.
Right.
I think Fable for the Kinect allows you to actually like pivot and roll out of combat.
Yeah, they had some interesting things that they did with that, but there was also, again, plenty of things that did not work out well. That's because Kinect was still new and the Kinect was still evolving at the time, and so is the Wii. Nintendo is always evolving with stuff. That's just the console side of it. That's not including the Nintendo DS and the handheld, which Nintendo is known for doing handhelds. They give you a second screen, they give you a stylus to go with it. You have all sorts of, so you have a second menu and you have your stuff on the top. You have, and again, that Pokemon thrived on that. You had that Elite Beat Agents was like an actual touchscreen handheld music game, which actually went kind of weird, but it was actually really fun at the same time. What was the one? Phoenix Wright was a
something
huge
actually
thing for
confuses me a little bit about the way the DS was designed. The way it was designed is actually to use the D-pad or joystick, which are both on the left side of the system, as well as using your stylus, which means that it is designed for right-handed people, specifically in the Pokemon universe. Now, the thing is, Nintendo basically owns Japan's gaming market. Sony is not really that big over there like you'd think it would be. Like, oh man, they got all this really cool stuff. No. Sony is not that big in Japan because Nintendo owns it.
Nintendo owns Japan.
The majority,
let alone just the gaming market.
Yeah, like in the United States, most people are right-handed. The opposite is true in Japan. More people are left-handed.
It seems kind of weird, right?
I'm a little confused as to why a Japanese company whose biggest market is actually the Japanese market programmed their games for right-handed people. That alone seems a little peculiar. However, you obviously,
but it seems like they're looking outside the box and making sure they're not just worrying about their niche. They're worrying about the
global market,
right? And they're appealing to everybody. That's what Nintendo is always doing. Like we said before, always going
and not to mention
oriented.
Gamers are going to adapt, especially in Japan. You are taught to adapt to your surroundings. You are taught to adapt to your environment. So obviously, playing a game that is designed right-handed, you're going to play right-handed. Americans, we're not so good at that.
We're really not. We're the demanding type. We want more of what we want.
I'm left-handed. Make it left-handed. I'm right-handed. Make it right-handed. It's a sword. Make it again.
Yeah, there's that. Regardless of whichever side you choose to use it on, a lot of us kind of just had it in one hand. You kind of held it with two of your fingers, stylus, while you actually used the joystick, and you went back and tapped at it. But either way, like that, what was the first touchscreen pretty much on a handheld? Beside that would be because
I think it was actually the DS.
It was the DS. Like the Dreamcast had a screen. But not a touch screen.
Yeah.
You still had buttons for that.
Yep.
Actually being able to use a stylus and something before that was just like not even a smartphone had the styluses then. That was all like the little tablets and things that had a stylus to go with it. People's like for business people, like BlackBerry type things that had just like a little notebook, card readers, Kindles and things like that had a stylus.
Yep.
And they had a holster for said stylus and all sorts of different games. You have yes, you had to go to new different cartridges and everything, which that kind of sucks, but you had a lot of options for it. You even had the option to emulate.
The original DS and the DS Lite still allowed for you to play the Game Boy Advance games. So you could still have backwards compatibility in the system. Now, obviously, when they released the DSi, they cut out that feature because they had to make room for more things, more features, the memory card, et cetera, to allow you to have more expandable memory, to download games, to play things on the internet. So you had a lot more features that you were sacrificing for the backwards compatibility. The DS Lite still had a lot of those features, but not quite all of them. So when switching over to the DSi, you can't really complain. It's like, all right, they just changed one thing. No, they changed a lot of things, and some people didn't like it, some people did, whatever. Your choice, which one you want to buy. Then they came out with the 3DS, which that one pissed me off a little bit because you had to buy the 3DS to play 3DS games, even if you turn the 3D off.
Which makes no sense.
So it's like, okay, I'm playing it in 2D anyways, and I can't play it on my other DS. I have to buy a new one for it. A little upsetting. However, to program the games and to have the system set up, you needed to have the ability for 3D in case of that. So that was designed that way. However, the 2DS was designed with the capability to read the 3D format without having the 3D screen function. So the new 2DS that just came out around the same time as the Pokemon X and Y, that one has all the features of the 3DS except for the 3D. However, it does have new features. The only downside of getting the 2DS that I have found at all,
no screen cover.
It doesn't close.
Yeah, that makes no sense. Like, unless you buy a specific attachment to have it cover the screen. Again, another peripheral. That part bothers me a lot.
Well, that was one of the big things, switching over from the Game Boy Advance to Game Boy Advance SP. The only difference that really mattered was the fact that it closed and it had a backlight built in. That was something that was phenomenal.
It also had the first rechargeable batteries.
That's right.
A's, and you actually just sit there and charge it and use it on the go, and it would work all the time.
Instead of having to buy a battery pack and a charger.
Smaller, fit in your pocket easier. It worked out great for that.
Yeah,
actually.
by creating the folding handheld, they had a huge lock on a market because now
more innovation by Nintendo.
Now it's more secure, it's safer, it's more fun, and it's easier to handle, easier to work with. So I definitely liked having that feature, and going into the 2DS and getting rid of that. I literally
it's a step back. It feels like
I literally know like 4 or 5 people that bought a 3DS after the 2DS came out, not because it's cheaper now. It's the same price. The 2DS I think is actually cheaper than the 2DS is cheaper than the 3DS. But it doesn't close, so people are still buying the 3DS. They're still spending more money on it.
But who knows what they're going to do? Either way, we still love Nintendo for all the different innovations they do.
We're out of time. Don't forget Toys for Tots, 1419 East Cleveland. East 40th, Cleveland, Ohio, 44103. Drop off toys. I already gave you the times. Watch the show again if you have to.
Right. Unlocked Radio right here on Morning Show Central Radio Network. We're your hosts, Chip and Rio. We had a lovely Monday night for you guys. We'll see you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Love you.